Hey guys, another Geek123 here. Well, today we are doing a Spider-Man video, but to just take a break from reacting to Nostalgia Critic's Spider-Man videos, I'm going to address something that has been going around pretty much since the SpiderVerse movie came out, or well, when the rumours about its sequel were going around. It's also heavily going around again as well, with Sam Raimi now directing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Well, these big headlines keep saying Tobey Maguire is or may be returning as Spider-Man. I have kind of addressed something like this a while back with talking about a possibility of seeing a live action SpiderVerse movie. Well, today I will once again be going over the news we kind of know about a possibility of seeing a live action SpiderVerse in the future, and I'll also go through an article from the company Trini that was sent to me by Gokuja, and he said this article has been going around such platforms as Twitter and Instagram recently, from me recorded, and well, it's getting people hyped once again for something that has not been confirmed. So let's get into it. So the first possibility of seeing a live action Spider-Verse movie is from an interview that was made for the movie Spider-Man Far From Home, and it features Tom Holland, Jacob Batalon and Zendaya. Well, in this they get asked how they would feel about having a live action Spider-Verse happen, featuring Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Well, just roll a clip.
You know, with SpiderVerse, which we got a couple of months ago, and then this film sort of touches on this idea of sort of the multiverse and kind of different people in different universes coming in. Any chance there's a multiverse in which Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and then your Spider-Man all meet together?
Clashing?
That'd be dope.
And then you can sort of just say that everyone just comes from a different universe.
But would you want that, though?
Would you want that? Maybe that's a better question.
Yeah.
Would we want that? I mean, as a fan, I would.
Is your no answer an answer in and of itself?
The thing about this film that's so exciting, right, is we take Spider-Man to Europe, and what's so cool about that is we've never seen Spider-Man in Europe before. No, of course I'd love to make a movie with those guys. It would be so cool.
I was like, oh, we're getting the junket answer.
No, it would be amazing. It would be really, really cool, and it's something that the fans really want. So whether Marvel and Sony decide to do that,
or
it's up to
decide
them.
To do it.
It's not up to me. I can't walk in and be like, Kevin, this is what we're doing on the next one.
Yeah.
But it would be really awesome. Yeah.
Overall from this, it's quite odd, as the interviewer appeared is just asking if they wanted it to happen, and while Tom's reaction is very suspicious, he keeps smirking while not really answering like the other two, and well, the two co-stars even recognise this while getting shocked. From this one tiny thing, it's not confirming this type of movie is going to happen, but by that he is either joking or subtly jokingly saying that Sony are planning something behind the scenes. Now the second point I mentioned is kind of more serious. Around July 7th, 2019, articles came around reporting details from an interview with Pascal, the producer of the Amazing Spider-Man films, all the way down to Spider-Man Far From Home, before leaving Sony around May 2019 to work for Universal. Well, these articles came out due to Pascal saying the following after being asked if there could be a live-action Spider-Verse movie by the company Nerdlist. She said, "I love all versions that we've done. The highlights of these movies are the personal stories, Peter's stories and his relationships, whether it's Miles or whether it's Peter, whichever version that we have been lucky enough to make. These movies from all the others, is that his personal story is what takes you through the movie, and it's what you care about." And then she goes on to answer more questions about the character and why she's working on superhero films, until she came around and she said this: "We have no idea what's going to happen, and the great thing is with the Spider-Verse multiverse, all the possibilities are now open to us." Which does not exactly say a live action Spider-Verse is in the works or even being thought about, but we very much see from this, before Pascal left Sony, that they very much were looking into the Spider-Verse, maybe hinting that they were looking into doing a live action film. Now again, we have not had any word from Marvel, Sony or even Disney about a live action Spider-Verse being thought about or even being in the works. This can even be said for such things as Tobey returning for Doctor Strange 2. So, mentioning this, let's have a look into Trini article. Now the first thing from this article is that it's not completely aligned to its audience with its title, as it says Tobey Maguire may be coming back as Spider-Man, with the subheading, rumours surfaced that Tobey Maguire and director Sam Raimi will reunite in a Spider-Man farewell film, which again isn't completely aligned to its audience stating that they are rumours. So let's just move on from there. So now we are at something. The article says Lords of the Long Box, a YouTube channel that shares scoops, discussed a rumour in a recent video upload. According to the channel, Tobey Maguire will once again play the superhero with Sony's live-action Spider-Man into the SpiderVerse. So okay, I've watched this section of the channel's 30-minute video, and well, it's quite odd. According to them, they have inside sources saying that Sony are planning to create a live-action Spider-Verse featuring that version of Miles becoming live-action, and will have them team up with Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker while being directed by Sam Raimi, and be inspired by the Spider-Man comic book storyline, where the Ultimate Comics Miles teams up with the 616 Peter Parker, saying it's Sony's last opportunity to get money from the Spider-Man property before Disney buys out their Columbia division of film, similar to how Fox handled the X-Men while being bought out by Disney. Well, I don't really watch this channel, but I'm not sure where your sources come from, Lords of the Long Box, because there's a few problems here. First, Sam Raimi most likely will not return for a Sony Spider-Man film. By the way, they treated him while creating Spider-Man 3 and started to create Spider-Man 4. And ever since he has now been announced to work with Disney and Marvel for Doctor Strange, people assume he'll work with Sony again for a Spider-Man film, which simply is stupid to me. The man is a fan of Steve Ditko's and Stan Lee's comics, including the early Doctor Strange comics, so he can work on any other Marvel project with other companies if he wants to. Second, a thing that has been explained a lot, it's impossible for Disney to buy out Sony or a division of them due to the law named the Monopoly Law, which essentially means a company such as Disney cannot be a monopoly from buying many other companies. Well, have you seen Disney? They have bought partially 13 different companies, which are ABC, 80% of ESPN, Touchstone Pictures, Marvel, Lucasfilm, 50% of the A&E Network, 50% of the History Channel, 50% of Lifetime, Pixar, Hollywood Records, 10% of Vice Media, Core Publishing, and Fox Films. Overall, having them officially own 100% of 8 different companies. This has overall made them own big properties as well, such as Star Wars, the Muppets, the MCU, the X-Men, the Disney Princesses, Narnia, Pirates of the Caribbean, Winnie the Pooh, Indiana Jones, and Grey's Anatomy. Oh yeah, and they're just a few from the big list of properties they have. So if they brought a company like Sony Films or even Columbia, they would be deemed a monopoly, losing everything, which is pointless to attempt to get a property of Spider-Man when they have so many big brands on their slate. Then finally, third, Sony do not look like they are done with the animated aspect of SpiderVerse themselves, with them confirming the sequel to the animated success, saying there are spin-offs such as a female movie, and while no word has been coming out about a live-action film, with them continuing their work on their different live-action films based on Spider-Man characters such as Venom and Morbius, with them even confirming the Craven movie is still in the works, with a Jackpot film also being in the works. Hey, I'm not trying to be a smart ass, I'm just trying to say maybe you need a better source, man. Now moving on, the article then quickly covers what the channel said in their video, then goes on to say this. In 2018, Sony already revealed plans of casting Tobey Maguire as the old man Peter Parker, just after Spider-Man and the SpiderVerse film premiered. Which is very true. Tobey Maguire was originally thought to be old man Peter Parker in this film, but it was scrapped due to be too confusing for audiences. It's also been confirmed they tried implementing Garfield in there somewhere, but they just couldn't find a way to write him in, never mind even cast him. And they've confirmed with even Tom Holland saying he was going to have a line in the background as a character shouting something at Miles, but again it was scrapped due to similar reasons why they scrapped Maguire's idea. This is then partially said by the article putting the quote, "There were many thoughts about where we could put Tobey Maguire and others. I think after this film those thoughts might have a little bit more attraction. But before this movie and introducing the idea of Spider-Verse to the audience, I think everyone was afraid that it would just really confuse people, but wow, it would have been fun." From Rodney Rothman talking to Screen Crush, which essentially says at the end of the day that Tobey Maguire or even Andrew Garfield are not planned to return yet, but yes, they could, meaning that they might in the future. So again, it might not even happen. Which an article then goes on to say a little bit about Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, with Sam Raimi's trilogy resulting in them talking about how successful it was, and if they decided to do it, it would be successful. But again, it most likely will not happen. Overall, I think people fall for this due to nostalgia, because I know if this happened one day, I would honestly love it. Honestly, imagine seeing the Spider-Man most people grew up with, including me, don the suit again, with even Andrew Garfield coming back one day, as he was the Spider-Man people experienced while being in their early teens such as me again. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. Just because the Snyder Cut is happening does not mean you'll get Spider-Man 3 Raimi Cut or the Mark Webb cut of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, because well, we were lucky enough we got the editor's version of Spider-Man 3 from Sony. So anyway, moving on guys, what are your thoughts about this subject? Do you love to see Tobey Maguire don the suit again, or would you not? Or how do you think they should implement Tobey into this universe? And yeah, that's all I have to really say guys. And if you'd overall like to comment down below what you overall thought about this video, if you had any problems with it, if you enjoyed it, it would make my day if you gave me some feedback. And if you like the video, please like. If you dislike the video, please dislike. Again, it'll give me feedback to improve. And honestly guys, if you've been watching this content for a while, please subscribe, it'll make my day. And finally, if you want a 1 to 10 minute video edited for you, please head over to my Fiverr, the link is always in the description below. I'd love to create a video for you guys in a cheap price. So thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.